So this is some of the cockles that we dug up yesterday at Goolwa. I think we probably dug up about 3 kilos. So we have our 600 cockles minus what we had for dinner last night that we now want to get ourselves salted up to use as bait. We all know how difficult it is using cockles for bait. It's not so bad if your cockles are really fresh, they will stay on the hooks. But if they're not really fresh, or perhaps if they're frozen and mushy, they just fall off. And that's so frustrating because you're ending up fishing with empty hooks and it's a lot of money that you're just throwing into the ocean basically. So salting your cockles is a great way of getting your bait. Something you can do is add some flavorings, some enhancers as you're going through the salting process to make them even more attractive to your fish, like fish oil, aniseed oil, those kinds of things. But we're just going to be salting them plain, with just plain salt today. So salt is a natural preservative which helps them last longer. So what equipment do you need to salt your cockles? Some kind of a container with a rack so that the liquid can come through the bottom and the cockles are not sitting in it. So a rack in a container, some paper towel and some salt. We've bought a 20 kilo bag of non-iodised pool salt because it's so cheap, yay! Ziploc bags to store them in. You can also use other kinds of containers such as this to store them in the fridge or freezer. We're going to use Ziploc bags. So rinse your cockles in fresh water using a sieve or a colander. So the first thing is to take some paper towel, lie it in your container and put a thin layer of salt. Then we need to get the cockles opened so that we can lie them on the salt. So get yourself a knife, one that you don't care too much about. I've got an old kitchen one. Some of these cockles are slightly opened, which makes the job so much easier. So open up your cockle and pull out the cockle like so. Pop it in. These shells make excellent burley. So if you've got enough room in your freezer, keep the shells. Even smash them up, because putting in some of those in the water when you're fishing makes a great burley. It attracts the fish. These ones are opening quite easily. They've been in seawater overnight. Another way of opening the cockles, if they're tightly shut, is to bash one against the other. And then you can just peel the shell away and get the cockle out like that. So open all your cockles up until you've covered the whole sheet with cockles. So now I have a whole layer of cockles across the paper towel. So now we're going to put a layer of paper towel over the salted cockles and repeat the process over and over until we've used up all of our cockles. So for us, I think we're going to get probably another 4 layers on there. So that's our cockles all salted up. Put the lid on your container and then put your cockles in a cool place. We're going to leave our cockles for 24 hours before we check the texture. All right, 24 hours has gone by. It's time to have a look at our cockles and see what we think. They do get a bit whiffy. That's fishing. Okay, so let's have a look. I think these are good. I don't think I'll be leaving these in any longer. They're very firm. A lot of liquids come out. And this is just going to be enough, I think, to get them hanging onto the hooks better without really shriveling them up too much. But it is personal preference. So You can leave them in for longer. It's entirely up to you, but I think this is good. So now I'm going to bag these up, just keeping a little bit of salt in the bag. So as you're putting them in the bag, just separate them if they're stuck together. Okay. Now we're on to the second layer. These are fantastic. I can't wait to use these and see if the fish like them. That looks about right for a fishing session. There's quite a few in there. If you're going to have a long fishing session, just take more bags with you. Now there's a lot here. This is good. A little bit of salt in the top. That should just help keep them separate in the bag. So that's it, they're all bagged up. Let's take this last layer of paper off and see how much liquid we've got underneath. So that's great for mixing in with your burley. Done. So if you've got a fishing trip coming up in the next week, just keep a bag in the fridge. But other than that, put them in the freezer. We've got 10 bags of salted cockles, so that's pretty good, isn't it? So I've put 3 bags into a bigger bag. I've double bagged it because it just keeps the smell almost nothing actually. So yes, it's a bit labour intensive. You have to go to the beach, you've got to dig up your cockles, you've got to come back, you've got to get them all out of their shells, you've got to leave them soaking in their salt for a day or so, and it's a bit pongy. I think it's probably worth it because this is a good little stash of bait in our freezer ready to go anytime. So I think it's worth it. Do you think it's worth it? Give it a try. This is Fishing Sister saying goodbye.